Morning and welcome to this Thursday session of Yoga Online. Come to sit comfortably and sit tall. Soften the abdomen, move the navel back slightly. Lift the armpits away from the hips, lengthen the sides of the trunk. Roll the shoulders back. The crown of the head slightly. With your eyes closed, focus on the breath. Palms together. We'll begin by chanting Om 3 times. Take a slow, deep breath in. Om. Shoulders back. Place your fingertips in front of you. Lift the sternum, lift the navel, lift the crown of the head. Move the lower shoulder blade into the body and feel the concave back action, feel the openness of the chest. And feel the length of the lumbar back. As you lift the armpits away from the floor, lift the crown of the head. Walk your hands further forward. Press your fingertips down. Drop the navel but lift the sternum. Lift the crown of the head. Feel the gentle arch. The lower shoulder blade moving into the body but the chest open. Spend a few moments in this posture and breathe into the pose. Gentle twist for the morning. Take your right hand behind you, your left hand over the right knee. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, move the navel, move the shoulder blades, move the chin, and twist over to the floor. Look over the right side. Insides. Take your left hand behind you to support the trunk. Take your right hand over the left knee. Breathing in, lift the sides of the trunk, and as you breathe out, move the navel, move the shoulder blades. Asana, lean back, lift the navel, lift the chest. Hold your legs in for Asana. Join the soles of the feet together. Move the lower shoulder blade into the body. Lift the armpits. Broaden across the chest. Lift the crown of the head. As you lift the trunk, feel the thighs moving down and feel the knees moving down. Spend a few moments in this posture. Find your breath again. Hands. And come to kneel. Come to kneel. Knees below the hips, palms below the shoulders. Outstretch your feet, tops of the feet pressing onto the floor. Breathing in, lift the navel, lift the tailbone. And as you breathe out, tuck the chin in, round the back, lift the navel, and spend a few moments here. Feel the release in the back. Breathing in, Lift the navel, lift the sternum, lift the crown of the head. And as you breathe out, lift the tailbone, lift the shoulder blades, tuck the chin under. Breathing in one more time. Lift the crown of the head, lift the navel, soften the abdomen, lift the tailbone. Spend a few moments here, focus on the concave action of the back, or the concave shape of the back. From here, tuck your toes under and stretch the Achilles tendon, stretch the calf. Feel the stretch around the lower shin. Want to stand on your toes. Move your palms slightly forward. Spread your fingers and spread your palms as if you were to stand on them. Focus more on the middle finger spreading and the web between the thumb and the index finger. Press on that quite firmly to give you a support. And press firmly on the palms and lift the knees. Bend the knees. Lift the armpit and lift the trunk. Release the head. The head and face should be soft. And feel the stretch now from the hip to the armpit, from the armpit to the wrist, as you lift your hips away from you. Release. And tuck the toes under. Spread your fingers and spread your palms. And you're going to lift the hips, keep the knees bent, and stretch the hips away from the armpits. Stretch the armpits away from the wrist. Keep stretching. Release and come down. Release and come down. Raise up the head, lift the tailbone. Tuck the chin in, tuck the tailbone in. Feel the flexibility of the spine. Breathing in and out. Look to your right leg. Look to and to the right, to the left. Goes under once more and stretch up. Stretch up. Now you're going to work to straighten the right leg. Keep the left leg bent and lift the hips. Right leg. Move the front thigh to the back thigh. Open the backs of the knees. Try to take your heel to the floor. And feel the legs straighten. At the same time, lift the hips. Slowly release and change legs. Bend the right leg and straighten the left. Move the front thigh to the back thigh, open the back of the knees. At the same time, lift the hips and stretch it away from the arm. Release and come. Sit back into child's pose and stretch forward. Stretch forward, release the forehead to the floor, release the elbow to the floor, and recover. With this action, spread your palms, spread your fingers, move your hips back. Move the groins back, but stretch the arms forward. Hold on to the top corners of your mat. Extra support, grip the mat, hold it tightly. Take your feet as wide as the mat and lift the hips. Lift the hips, knees bent if it helps you. Lift your knees, lift the hips, lift the armpits, and work to straighten your legs. Release and come down. Release and come down. Place your palms below the shoulders. Place your knees below the hips. 3 more times, cat-cow action. Breathing in, lift the sternum, lift the crown of the head. And as you breathe out, tuck the chin under, round the neck. Breathe in to lift. Out to release. Out to release. Move your palms slightly forward. Tuck the toes under again. Lift the hips, keep the knees bent. Keep the knees bent. Straighten the right leg. Straighten the left leg. Keep pedaling. This helps the hamstrings as well. Keep the pedaling action. Try to take your heels to the floor. One more time. Bend the knees. Stretch up the hips. Stretch the trunk. And then walk to straighten both the legs. Release and down and come to sit. Roll the shoulders back. Roll the shoulders back. And come to rest in Virasana. We're now going to transition from a downward dog to upward dog. Tuck the toes under. Your hips. Come into a downward dog action. Straighten your legs. From here, you're going to slide forward and lift into an upward dog, similar to the cat-cow action where the spine was lifting, the tailbone moved in. If this is difficult for you, you can release your knees onto the floor. And you're going to go into a downward dog and then release your knees. But the focus is not to rush this movement. You have to move very slowly with the breath and move as per your capacity. We're going to breathe out into downward dog and we're going to breathe in to upward dog. In Sanskrit, this is Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward dog, and Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, upward dog. This is part of preparation for Surya Namaskar. So before we start, see that the middle finger is extended forward. The webbing between the thumb and the index finger is pressed firmly to give you extra support. Spread your palms, spread your fingers. Your knees are below your hips. Breathe in. Out, tuck the chin under. Once more, lift the navel, lift the sternum, maintain a slight concave back. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, lift into downward dog. A full stretch. Spend a few moments here. Feel the pose. Feel the length of the trunk. Straighten the legs. And now breathe in, bend the elbows, slide the hips forward. Come onto the tops of your feet so the toes roll over. Lift the sternum, lift the crown of the head. This is good for arm strength as well. Breathing out. Roll over the toes and lift into downward. Come onto your knees and rest. We're going. Spread your palms, spread your fingers. Take a full deep. As you breathe out, lift the hips and stretch into downward dog. Breathe in, upward dog, a full stretch. Don't hold the breath if you can't. Breathe in and out in the pose. Breathing out, downward dog. Spend a few moments in the pose. The upward facing dog pose. Out one more time, downward dog. Asana, upward. Lift the crown of the head, lift the sternum, soften the abdomen, and release onto your knees. And sit back into child's pose and stretch forward. Release the elbows to the floor. Release the forehead to the floor and become soft. These poses are good for the arms, the shoulders, and the spine. One more time, come onto your knees. Spread your palms and spread your fingers. From here, keep your knees below the hips and straighten the right leg. Flex the heel. Straighten the left leg. Remember, the awareness remains on the spreading of the palms and the fingers. Flex your feet. And release. One more time, change legs. Heel away from you, toe towards you. And the backs of the legs. Lift the knee. Release. Change, straighten the left leg. Open the backs of the legs. Lift the thighs, stretch the heel away from you. Adho Mukha Svanasana once more, downward facing dog. Lift the hips, straighten the legs. Hold the pose, find the pose. Now, raise up the right leg, heel away from you, toe towards you. Straighten the left leg. Release. One more time, lift the right leg. Work to get a 90-degree angle between your thighs. Release. Left leg. Release. A full stretch into downward dog. Your knees. Sit back, child's pose. Your hands back, press your fingertips in front of the knees, lift the navel, lift the sternum, lift the crown of the head and the back. Behind you, roll the shoulders back. You'll lift the sternum. Come to lie flat on your back. Keep your knees up and your feet flat on the floor. Soften the abdomen. Lengthen your ears away from the shoulders. Press your feet firmly on the mat. Keep your knees lifted. With both hands, draw both knees in towards the chest. Feel the hips settle. At the same time, feel the length of the spine. Slowly release your feet onto the mat. Cross your right ankle over the left thigh. And with both hands, draw your left thigh in toward the chest. Lumbar spine settle, feel the hips settle. And release. Change legs. Cross the left ankle over the right thigh. And with both hands, draw the right thigh in towards the chest while the left knee moves away. Again. Slowly release your feet. Keep both knees up and your feet flat on the floor. Release the shoulder to the floor. Breathe in, lift the hips. Stand on your shoulders, stand on your feet. Pressing your feet down. Lift the navel, lift the sternum. Breathe out and release. Breathe in to lift. Breathe out and release. One more time, breathe in to lift. Breathe out to release. And straighten both legs. Roll out your thighs. Release your hips to the floor. The abdomen to the floor. Release the shoulder blades to the floor. Roll out the thighs. And release completely to the floor. Place both your hands on the abdomen. Raise up your knees one by one, keeping your feet flat on the floor. Raise up the right arm all the way past the right ear. And roll over onto your left side. Press to come to sit. Sit in a comfortable posture. Shoulders back. Broaden across the chest. Soften the abdomen. Lift the crown of the head and become soft once again. Feel the length of the sides of the trunk. Roll the shoulders back. Feel the upper back muscles roll down the back. Focus on your breath. Crown of the head. When you went into upward facing dog, you had the openness and lift of the chest. Can you find that again? Feel the strength of the legs anchoring you down. Feel the softness of the abdomen. And focus on just the breath. Just soften the abdomen. And feel the breath from the hip to the armpit. And as you breathe out, soften the abdomen. Breathe in from the hip to the armpit. Feel the openness of the chest. Breathing out, soften the abdomen. 3 times on your own, a full deep breath in. And as you breathe out, release the breath, soften the abdomen, move the navel back. Slow, deep, long breath in. And as you breathe out, release your chin to the chest. Your hands and open your eyes.